Kim Jong-un says his country has followed through with its pledge to demolish its nuclear test site. A series of explosions was set off in front of a group of foreign journalists. We've got CBC's Asia correspondent Sasha Petrusik on the story. He joins me live from Seoul. Of course, the big story coming out of the U.S. is Trump, pulling out of this summit that was supposed to happen next month. What do you expect the reaction will be there to that announcement, Sasha?
Well, I think if we've heard pretty extreme and pretty tough language floating across the Pacific over the past days, last week as well, with threats and all kinds of insults, I think those are just going to be ratcheted up. Even today, for instance, the comments that were coming from a senior foreign affairs official here in North Korea was talking about that if the summit didn't go ahead, that the two countries could be facing a nuclear-to-nuclear showdown. So, I think that kind of rhetoric is going to be increasing. There's no question that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un was looking forward to this summit, not so much because he wanted to give away his nuclear weapons necessarily, but because he wanted the prestige that he would be there and be on an equal level with the President of the United States. That's something his father and his grandfather have wanted for a long time, and now he had achieved it, or so it seemed. So I think we will have to wait and see. It's almost midnight here, so we're not going to be getting a lot of reaction yet, but I expect it to be swift, and I expect it to be pretty tough.
I know you're on that. In the meantime, that demolition I was mentioning in the introduction to this story, what are the details on that?
Well, as you mentioned, there were a number of explosions that took place today. What we're hearing, what came out from the official North Korean news agency was that all the tunnels in this nuclear test site, the main nuclear test site for North Korea, way up in the remote hills of the country near the Chinese border, all of them were demolished. There were explosions in all of them, and that all the tunnel entrances have been closed. Basically, the site has been destroyed. Reporters who were there briefly had some messages out. They said that the explosions were huge. There were tons of smoke and tons of debris that was thrown up into the air. So this was a big bang. And of course, North Korea had meant this to be a big bang, which foreign journalists would witness as a signal that it was really and honestly moving forward and rolling back its nuclear weapons program. That may not make any difference right now.
I know you're on it, and we'll talk again. Thank you, Sasha. CBC Asia correspondent Sasha Petrusik in Seoul.